There we go. So we are so excited for those of you who are hopping on right now to learn more about this business, learn more about what we are so crazy about talking about constantly in our stories, on our wall. You see us all the time. Maybe you roll your eyes at us. I don't know. Maybe you're curious. Obviously, you're curious if you're here watching and if you're attending the Zoom. Tonight, Britt and myself are going to be hosting this. It's going to be short and sweet, only 15 minutes. What we're going to do is share with you our stories really briefly and how we work our businesses. Hi, everybody hopping on. So excited about this. And if you're a guest tonight, please drop it in the comments. We'd love to welcome you. So my name is Alyssa Coop. I got started in this business December 2016. And I always say 2016 was the craziest year of my life. I had so many shifts in it with my marriage and moving. So I'm up in Canada. And my husband and myself, we moved halfway across the country to where I grew up to be closer to family, to kind of have like a little fresh start and get rolling. But with that, life changes drastically, right? So oftentimes he was lucky enough to keep his job. But for myself, it was all about starting new completely. So I was a little nervous because everybody needs money to survive. So what I did quite quickly is start working 2 full-time jobs. Now, something about my story, a huge part of it is at the beginning of 2016, my husband and I actually separated, and we separated for quite a few months. And when we assessed the situation, we realized a lot of it was because we just didn't have time together. We were working so many hours just to stay afloat, and maybe you're in that same sort of lifestyle where it's like you're just on that hamster wheel and you're exhausted, and maybe your fights with your significant other are always about finances. That's where we were. And it was a huge part of what broke us apart. So we were like, you know what? We can work on this. We can get better with our finances. We can switch up our lifestyle if it means that we can be together. So when we moved, I was always open to another opportunity. What I was doing often was jumping online and typing in how to make money from home. So I was doing those surveys where you get paid like 5, 10, 25 cents to do a survey. And I was like, well, this is going to take forever. Like, I'm working 2 full-time jobs already. That's not going to be sustainable because, again, I'm not seeing my husband because I'm working so much. So when I was on Instagram taking a little break from doing a home reno, I came across a total stranger on Instagram. I hit the For You page and she was there, super cute, holding a hair, skin, and nails vitamin. And maybe that's why you're here. Maybe you saw someone super random on your social media wondering what the heck they're doing. And I was so curious about what she was doing. But what I did know in that moment was I wanted to grow my hair out. So I messaged her. And I became a customer like right away, literally on the spot. I'm one of those people, and maybe I shouldn't be in. Someday it might bite me in the butt, but I basically threw her my credit card. I was like, sign me up. You ship to Canada? Amazing. So this cute little stranger took my credit card and got me signed up. And I was so impressed with the product, honestly. And I was also one of those people who didn't look at my account to be like, oh, there's other products. Like, I'm going to try out things. It was like purely I stalked her and I loved my product. And I was like, well, talking to my husband, he's like, why aren't you just jumping in and doing this? Because people are loving your results or noticing your results. You basically stalk her all day, every day and talk about her life. So why don't you try it for yourself? So I did. I messaged her and I was like, I have to just try it at least. Like, I'm always a person who's willing to try something and give it my all and see if it's going to work for me more than just taking what other people are going to say. Did I? I didn't know exactly what I was getting myself into in terms of network marketing. But I did know that watching her life, she lived a life that I craved and that I wanted. She was a retired nurse. She retired her husband. She was a full-time mom, and she was about to pay IVF for her second baby. Now she's had a third baby, and she's built her dream home and all the things because of this business. And what I found really cool about that was oftentimes you join a business or you see a business and you just see the success stories of people that you're never going to meet. But I can promise you a lot of the people on this Zoom right now watching have been successful in this business, and it's purely because it's efforts based. If you really want something out of this business, and this is what I love about it, is you put the ceiling on yourself. You can make as much or as little as you want. And it's the most flexible thing in the world. So I'm so obsessed with it. I'm going to shut up for a quick second and I'm going to bring Britt in. So I absolutely love Britt. We've been working together now for 2.5 years. And she's become my best friend. We were completely strangers before we got started. And now she is here. So Britt, I'm going to get you to unmute yourself and introduce yourself a little bit.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on here. I love that we're going live at the same time and we're trying to kind of share with as much people as possible, which is, I want to share something I thought I would never do. So my name is Brittany. I'm also from Canada, and this business kind of fell into my lap in a way, I guess. I really never thought this was going to be something that I was going to do. At the time when I started this business, I was working as a professional dancer in Vancouver, Canada. I was working teaching. I was at the front desk. I was working at Earl's. I was doing all the things. So I had a lot on my plate. But one thing that just I could not figure out is how people could live in the city without a college degree, without an education, even with, like Alyssa can attest to that, even with, and pay their bills and get ahead. I couldn't figure out how to do that in a way that didn't just completely drain me, made like the same thing as Alyssa said, where I didn't see my husband, where I couldn't do anything. And Alyssa was actually somebody that I bought the greens from. So as being a dancer, I was somebody who constantly was getting sick because I was overworking my body. I was, like I said, working these 3 jobs. So I ordered these greens from her. I was like, okay, she said they'll boost my immunity, good enough. So I started ordering the greens, fell in love instantly, and started telling people about them, which is basically what we get to do. Just like you share your Starbucks, I was sharing these greens going, okay, you guys, you need to try these. Like, I'll send you Alyssa's link. Like, they're so good. Anyway, so I was the person who constantly messaged her saying, thank you so much. I love these products, but I'm going to shut my auto shipment off because I can't afford them. And she just so politely said, well, if you ever want to make income doing this opportunity. And I was like, haha, no, that's fun, but absolutely not. I would be horrible at this. So I said no probably 5 times, you guys. I never stopped ordering. I kept ordering more actually, because I love them so much. But I kept saying to her, I don't have the money. And she kept saying, come on, Britt, like you could do it. We started getting to know each other and I started trusting her. And one night I was driving home in Vancouver. I was in a cab and I remember having to pay for this cab and knowing I was going to have to put it on a credit card. And I worked way too dang hard to have to do that. And that was it. So I texted her in the middle of the night, and something about me is when I decide to do something, I'm going to do it 110%. I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I'd be successful. I didn't even really know what she did. I just knew these products worked and that was it. And I jumped in, and it's been crazy to see how much not only I've grown as a person, but how much my life has changed because of this opportunity. I used to be somebody who was very like skeptical about social media. I love stalking people, but like I didn't like anybody's posts, which I'm sure like all of us can attest to at some point in our lives. I felt like social media was super toxic and something that I didn't want to be on very often. And now I'm able to go on there and make not only an income, but also an impact. And I've been able to meet so many people along the way too that have really blessed my life. So my life looks so different now. I was able to, in the first year of my business, make it to a rank in the company, which provided us a full-time income for me and my husband. Which was crazy because it ended up being the biggest blessing of all. We were able to move provinces in Canada. We have provinces, move provinces, pay for a car in cash to be able to do that and pay for all the moving expenses, which is so stinking expensive. If you've ever moved, you know, just because of this business opportunity. And like I said, I didn't think I was going to do this. So a year before when I started, I had no idea that this was going to be anything that it is. And it's ended up being the biggest blessing. And now I do this full time from home, and it's so fun. I can't imagine doing anything else.
I love your story so much. And it's probably because I got to be a part of it from start to where you are now. And like Britt said, you never know what life is going to throw at you. Like for them, they moved halfway across the country as well. And the same goes for all of us. You just never know what life is going to throw at you. And I know over the last 4.5 years, there's been so many unexpected things that have popped up that if I didn't have this business, I would be sweating. I'm sweating thinking about it and thinking about how life was, because I remember working the 2 full-time jobs, and if something popped up, like your fridge broke down or whatever it is, it's like, where the heck am I going to, like, how am I going to pay that? Like, I'm going to call my bank and push my credit card payment. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so many of us are put in those situations all the time. It's life. So I think that is the beautiful thing about this business is it fits seamlessly, literally into your life. You've heard Britt say she worked multiple jobs. I worked multiple jobs. And we were able to grow our businesses to where they are now. I've been home full time for the last 2.5 years. She's been home full time, taking care of all the bills. And it's just an incredible business that you can truly do whatever you want with it. Now, Britt, what would you say to somebody, because we're already creeping up to 15 minutes, but what would you say to someone who might be sitting on the fence? Maybe they said yes to watching this Zoom. Maybe they're just watching on the live right now on Instagram, but how would you encourage them? Because I know for a lot of people who get started in this business, it's not really it's not your comfort level to jump and show your face on social media or write posts. And like, it's a real shift. And I know it was for both of us where it's like, we never posted, we never talked to anybody, and here we are.
I love that question so much because when I started, like I said, I was so nervous. But one thing I knew about me personally is that I was going to give it 110%. So, what I would say, if you're watching this right now and you feel that stirring in your gut, or maybe you're just like so skeptical, but you're still here and you don't even know why you're here, like that's okay too. I'm going, what do you mean? These girls do what? And they make money off of social media. I would say, first of all, do your research. Talk to somebody who's doing this, whoever sent you this opportunity Zoom. If you're watching the live, wherever you're at right now, reach out to the person that talked to you and ask them all the questions. Like, don't worry about feeling weird or awkward. Ask them the questions and trust your gut and stop listening to people who aren't doing what you want to do or aren't where you want to be. And that was the best piece of advice I've ever gotten, because I'm super like, I care about what people think. That's something I'm trying to work on, but I care, like I truly do. And when I first started, I heard so many people say, you're joining what? You're doing what? Like, oh my gosh, I've never even seen that work for anybody before. And now being in it 2.5 years later and people coming back and saying, I can't believe you're still doing this and it's working. And that's not because there's anything special about me. That's not because there's anything special about Alyssa that pulls her apart from anybody that's watching this. It's just that I made the decision and then I became a student of what I made the decision to do, and truly stop listening to other people's opinions that weren't in the same boat. Not everyone has to be on board for you to make a life-changing decision. If you feel in your heart like you're like, I don't even know what this is, but for some reason I just feel like I need to give it a shot. Worst case scenario, you make a whole bunch of really awesome friends. There's literally no downside to starting this. And if you're somebody who works hard, if you are an amazing student of whatever you do, and you are willing to do what it takes, even if it pushes you out of your comfort zone, then go for it. Honestly, you're not going to regret it. You're not going to feel like you're missing out on an opportunity if you do it. I promise you will feel like you're missing opportunity if you don't, if it's something that's like stirring up inside of you. And the cool thing about this too is you're never alone. So if you're in this and you're thinking already, I'm so nervous that I'm not going to be good at this. I'm nervous that no one will buy from me. I'm nervous. Like, these are things we hear all the time. I promise you there is training tools in place every single step of the way, so that not only do you feel capable, but you feel confident in it. So I would say, talk to the person who sent you this link, talk to the person, you can reach out to us and we can answer your questions, and just get as much information as possible, and then dive in and start listening to the people that are where you want to be.
I love it. And that's one of my favorite things is don't take advice from people you wouldn't trade places with for whatever topic you're talking to them about. And thank you so much for being on tonight, Britt, with me. And thank you to everybody who hopped on. I hope this was eye-opening for you, encouraging for you. Please get back, like Brittany said, to the person who invited you here. I can promise you it's not going to be a bad decision. You literally have nothing to lose. Like she said, either you make a ton of amazing friends, you're going to get some awesome product in your starter kit to get started, which is already super small. Like, you could probably go to like Walmart, Target, wherever you live, and spend that tonight without even thinking about it. But the time's going to go by anyways. Don't wait for a perfect time. Don't wait for whatever your excuse might be. Just go for it. Just give it a shot. You don't know until you know. So again, thank you to everybody who hopped on tonight. And yeah, we will see you all again soon. Hopefully you join the team, and we'll see you everywhere. So have a great night, everybody. Bye.